Back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and I have another story. I do not know what's going on in these establishments. I mean, I feel like the Daily Dot is exposing so many things going on in restaurants. But here we are. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so here we are with a Panda Express issue. And he said, the customer said they act like they are losing money. Customer claims Panda Express weighed his food, put some of it back. Oh boy, they watching their money. I'm not even mad at them. Okay, so it says, a Panda Express customer on TikTok claims the employees at his local store weighed his food before he could receive it. The TikToker, Toby, suggests that Panda Express is now using a scale to weigh the amount of food the chain serves its customers. He also questions whether or not the practice was new or if the franchise just started implementing it recently. Other users on the platform remarked that their local Panda Express restaurants have been weighing its portions as well. Wow, this is starting to sound like the Hunger Games. Let me see if... Okay. So let's go ahead and go to the video. Usually I already have it up, but we're going to do that right now. And let's see.
So when did Panda Express start weighing your food? So I got a plate. I got chow mein, fried rice, and orange chicken. The lady takes it, puts it on a scale, opens the container, and scoops some of the food back out. What? When did this happen? When did this start? I guess the food weighed too much. I was gagged. I almost wanted to tell her, put those noodles back in. Because but no. Is this new? Or has my Panda just never done it before? I was... What? So when did Panda...
You know what? Okay. If I have to be the arbiter here. if I have to be the decider. And again, who am I to judge? If it was brought to me, I would side with him. The way I would look at it as, that would be an internal note for her. To say, okay, maybe I was a little heavy-handed with these portions. All right, mental note received. And do that. And I would have just left it as is. Because it's different when you're taking something away from a customer. Because in their eyes, they're looking at their food being prepared. Everything's all boxed up, I guess. Or close to being boxed up. They set it on the scale. And they're like, oh, no, that's too much. Let me take some of this out. What? So I can get that. At the same time, I can hear people saying, well, if it didn't weigh a certain amount, would she have put it back in? If she would have added, or would she have added more to it? If she would have added more to it, then fair is fair. I totally understand that argument in that point of view from those of you saying that, because I can hear you saying it. I'm thinking about the optics. With one, the optics look bad. With the other, the optics look good. You're looking for a win-win for the customer and the company. Again, I feel like it should have been an internal note. And she would have been like, okay, I was a little bit heavy-handed. Let me keep that in mind next time I fix the next meal. Instead of a customer seeing you prepare the food, have the dish ready to be boxed, you put it on the scale, and then it's like, oh, no, that's too much. Let me take it out. It's just the optics doesn't look good. That's all I'm saying. Now, if they were preparing where a customer couldn't see what they were doing, and then they put it on the scale, and they're like, oh, no, that's too much, and take it out, and the customer couldn't see that, that would be fine. But if it's visible to the customer, I'm like, okay, no, let the customer keep it. Now you know going forward, don't be so heavy-handed. That's kind of how I look at it. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me go to the comments right quick and see what the comments said. Maybe we're on the same page, maybe we're not. Okay, so it says, so when did Panda Express start weighing your food? Toby asked in the clip. This prompted An incredulous response from the TikToker. What? When did this happen? When did this start? I guess it weighed too much. I was gagged. Almost uttered die, which is what he said. He continued. And he's like, yes, the scale is new at mine too. I reported them to the local... No, he didn't report them to the health department. Because technically, yeah, that is another way to look at it. Technically. Would that have messed up I seriously doubt it, but technically it is a possibility. Now, if he had eaten out of it or something and then returned it and they took it in and she put it back in or something of that nature, that would be different. But this, it's a stretch. It's technically correct, but it's a stretch. Not the health department. It's like you can't put food back like that. That's cross-contamination. I guess. Others thought there were simpler solutions Panda Express may want to consider. If the chain is worried about overfeeding its customers and taking a financial hit on portions, why not have measured scoops to ensure consistency? Chipotle is a popular chain that has been using measured serving cups for its meal sizes. However, the accuracy of these cups varies and often results in people receiving less protein than they thought they were paying for. In fact, Chipotle has come under fire for paying meticulous attention to the amount of food it gives its customers. And there are a number of longtime fans of the franchise who have sworn off the brand entirely, opting to go to similar eateries like Qdoba. I've never heard of that one. In Cava? Instead, I've never heard of these two chains. Instead, as they purportedly don't monitor portions as closely. Reports of Panda Express scrutinizing its portions appear to be yet another instance of fast food franchises giving customers less for their money. A number of popular chains have raised their prices across the board, and some have significantly reduced their portion sizes. The Daily Dot has reached out to Panda Express via email and Toby via TikTok for further comments. Some TikTok users viewed Toby's posts. Some TikTok users who viewed Toby's post remarked that this new policy would keep them from eating at Panda Express in the future, citing that it was no longer worth it for them. We got Panda the other day and it was way less than we normally get. They act like they're losing money, one user said. Another remarked, I stopped going $11 a plate for $11 for a plate, and they doesn't even come close with a drink and not weighing. Others were worried about the potential cross-contamination of different foods. I'm allergic to shellfish. Can you imagine what could happen to me? I don't see I still feel the cross-contamination. Is it possible? Yes. But with that, I feel like it might be a little bit of a stretch. Okay, that's interesting. I'm allergic to shellfish. Can you imagine what would happen to me? Now I know where to avoid, one user said. Okay, so that's all of the article. If you want to, let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, be blessed.